Today I want to talk about sustainable versus unsustainable societies, capitalism as a force of sustaining a society by using resources and growing and adapting. This is from Brad Hall's recent episode where he talks about the beginning of infinity and the chapters about sustainable, non-sustainable societies. I want to talk about shame. I want to talk about the problems that we have in the hedge fund business when we're down, like we are experiencing right now. And I want to end with a conclusion that our investment philosophy is actually exactly along the lines of the beginning of infinity and the sustainability of a society through innovation, research, and using resources in a way that we create knowledge to then use resources for the better of society. This is Not Even Wrong podcast. It's March 8, 2021. This is Crimdelco. Since the last update, we are down 2.5%. The market is still open. So for the year, we're now down 19.3%. The market is roughly up, since the last update, roughly up 2.5%. So the market is up 4%. We're underperforming by 23.5%. Now, clearly, the topic of the day is shame, is the really uncomfortable situation that we are in by owning assets that are losing in value. So this is wealth destruction. And I don't care if it's paper losses or not paper losses. We don't care about these things. We look at the NAV every day, and we look at the NAV, and we have to admit that in the last month we have lost roughly 40% of our NAV. That's a reality, and that is how hard it is in this business. This is a very, very difficult business. I'm listening to Hugh Henry's podcast about his reminiscing about his experience as a hedge fund manager, and there's a lot of things I don't agree with him. But the one thing I do agree is that it is very rough seas sometimes. We're captain on a ship, and the wind blows, and you have to keep things together. Now, there's not much more I can say about that because this is what it is. It's the part of the business. The business is volatile. Business is volatile. Investing in businesses, by definition, then creates volatility, and I would say there is a transformation function here which is not linear. So if you have a volatility in the business, then the volatility on the asset side increases, and then the volatility on funds like ours, which are concentrated, goes even higher, and then you have this cascade of volatility which creates very unpleasant feelings when things go bad. And like many hedge fund managers would agree, the feeling of losing money is always much, much worse than the feeling of making money. It's never balanced. So the only way you can survive in this business is to consistently make a lot more money than you lose, not just because that's just numerically the only way you can survive, but it's also because just emotionally that's the only way to sustain that. Nevertheless, we are right now in a situation where, like I said, for the year we're down 19.3%. This is a massive drawdown for us and for our investors, which is a very difficult time to go through. We are managing this by looking at what we own, why we own it, by questioning why we own it. This is another quote from Hugh Henry, I think a very useful one, which is you learn when asset prices go down. That's when you learn. So what is it we're learning? And now let's go into Brad Hall's podcast, because I think it's a nice segue into the question, or the beginning of the answer to the question: what is it we're actually doing? What is it we're trying to achieve here? And why are we taking these types of losses and emotional stress upon us when maybe there are easier ways to make money? Well, first and foremost, we are in the business of creating a sustainable society by investing in fundamentally new concepts and engineering practices with large impact. In other words, we are investing in ways that our society can advance, get better, create better solutions for existing problems, create better solutions for new problems. We are offering sort of the capitalist answer to the Popperian question of how can we replace existing situations, businesses, solutions with better ones. This is what we're trying to achieve. So in that sense, in a Deutschian sense, we are trying to improve our society. We are a sustainable fund, but sustainable in a Popperian way, not in a sort of we don't, we want to wear Birkenstocks and just eat organic food and not drive cars or any of that stuff. It is the sustainable way of, look, we have a given amount of resources. In order to take advantage of those resources, we have to create knowledge. Knowledge is creating, is by definition something where we create we use fundamentally new concepts, and then engineering practices derived from those concepts to instantiate those concepts into actual products and services that help us improve our lives. And this is what Tesla is doing with their cars. This is what the Crispr companies are doing, what Fate Therapeutics is doing, what Twist Bioscience is doing, etc., etc. This is what we're trying to achieve here. So, checkbox one, we are trying to achieve something that we believe is a good thing. Now, how are we doing this? Are we doing this the right way? Maybe we're doing it the wrong way. Maybe it's a nice aim to have, but hey, you need to make money in the markets. Your business is not to dream about colonizing Mars or something. Your business is to actually make money. Can you do that? Well, this puts us in a position of analyzing our businesses. And how do we analyze our businesses? We start with Tesla. We have three vectors that we believe will drive Tesla's fortunes in the future. One is battery technology. That is basically a wrap term for battery, power management, and drivetrain. Then we have AI, and third, we have manufacturing. Those are the three factors that we believe Tesla has to continuously use fundamentally new concepts and engineering practices and drive them and instantiate them into better batteries, better range, lower cost, lower capital cost. AI is better functionality on the self-drive side, and the manufacturing is build factories at scale, at pace, at scale, etc. Those are the three things that we believe Tesla has to deliver for us to be able to fulfill against our mission to generate wealth with this investment. There's no question that by investing in fundamentally new concepts and engineering practices, you can generate wealth. There is definitely no laws of physics or any logical inconsistency here. However, we might be wrong. Maybe Tesla's the wrong one. Maybe we should buy Shopify or Nvidia, or maybe we should even buy John Deere or Ford. Maybe they're better at it. Maybe they can actually use fundamentally new concepts and engineering practices and incorporate them into their existing corporate culture and win. And maybe Tesla is way too early, way too fast, way too mismanaged, and it doesn't work. So in order to answer that question, that's what we've been doing for the last 8 years. We've been carefully analyzing Tesla, and we made that decision 8 years ago that we believe that it's worth a shot, and over time we have strengthened our feeling that this is the right investment for us. Nevertheless, right now we're looking at, like I said, a massive drawdown. Tesla's down 40% from its peak. Those are big numbers, and we have to question the market. We have to question ourselves. Is the market telling us something we don't know? Is the market telling us something we should be careful about? And the answer is, on the fundamental side, while there might be short-term hiccups that I will discuss shortly, I think long-term those three vectors are still intact. Tesla is actually in the position of driving better new battery technology. They're in a position of delivering AI, and they're in a position of creating manufacturing technologies and practices that will enable them to manufacture electric cars at scale. We believe the market is wrong by believing that the competition will catch up, simply because the competition, while they might be catching up to the existing Tesla models, they are going to be behind years again. When Tesla comes up with new models, the AI is going to be a problem for the competition, because they don't have the concepts and engineering practices that Tesla has, we believe, are better and yield to better success. And third, we believe that the manufacturing capacities of those companies for intelligent electric cars, which are very software intensive, that those companies, Ford, GM, Volkswagen, even NIO, all these people that depend on tier 1 and tier 2 suppliers, that they just don't have the ability to scale up and create hundreds of thousands of cars in the next couple of years at scale, at the quality that the customers are accustomed to through Tesla. So while we're comfortable with that, we believe that there is a case to be made for Tesla to win in this marketplace. This is the key answer to the question, can we generate wealth with investment in Tesla? Now, looking at the genomics side of things, there we believe that genomics is a bit like the transistor. The transistor being the equivalent being CRISPR technology, and then all the derivatives which come out of there. So there is, again, it's almost certain that the CRISPR technology and the genomics revolution will drive adoption of this technology and create new solutions to problems that we have, and also create new problems, better problems that can be solved. So there's a build out of an innovation stack. For example, in the CRISPR side, the companies are working on delivery of CRISPR into other areas, such as maybe the kidneys or the heart and things like that. Those are all amazing build outs of the innovation stack, but they need to instantiate themselves into products and services, and that is, of course, right now a little bit of a question mark, because it's still like any innovation stack, it's going to take time. It's going to take time. It's going to be a bumpy road, and this is what we're feeling right now. I think fundamentally we are very, very positive about this space because it really offers a solution to a problem that humanity has been dealing with for centuries, which is life sciences has been sort of an alchemic, bespoke, very open process, and now it's becoming a much more closed-end architecture, software-driven, digitized, directional, deterministic process. And this is the great innovation that we believe in, and we might be wrong with our investments. We can't say for sure. Maybe we're early. For example, the CRISPR companies, Intellia, Editas, CRISPR Therapeutics, and Beam being CRISPR 2.0, kind of like the development of base editing. Maybe they're early. Maybe we need to wait for better delivery technologies. Maybe we need to understand better the functionalities of genes relative to other parts of the body. Maybe we're too early. That's possible. We can't. But we're happy to take the risk, because the upside of digitizing life sciences to deliver solutions that have never been even attempted before, that upside is just too big to give up. So to summarize the second part of this episode, which is the question, okay, we have chosen a path. Again, the first part was understanding what is the philosophy, and the philosophy is to find a sustainable way to improve certain parts of humanity, which is decarbonizing transport and digitizing life sciences. That works. The second part is, well, are we doing it the right way? Do we have the right investments? The answer is we have a high probability that yes, those investments will generate wealth, because they are the right investments to fulfill our mission, to deliver against our mission. Now, the third and last one is the conclusion and how we see this pan out. First and foremost, we decided not to do anything. We decided to stay put here, in a sense that we are not going to buy and sell things. The reason we're not buying more is because we have leverage already in the system, and leverage is the biggest risk that we have right now. Because of the leverage, we might be able, hopefully, we could be, if the drawdowns continue, we could be forced to sell even more, to sell at a low point, and this would be very bad for us. So we hope that doesn't happen. Right now, our leverage is something in the realm of 18%. We hope that it doesn't go above 25%, but for that, we need another easy 30-40% drawdown. So we're certainly far away from there, and given what's going on in the market, we can't exclude that, in particular for technical reasons, more than anything else. But the reality is that we are looking at a situation now where we have massive drawdowns. We will have more phone calls with investors. It's understandable that they're concerned. They're not as close to the pulse as we are. For them, it's just red numbers in their portfolios. That's scary. It is our job to give them calm. It is our job to make them feel better, make them feel in good hands. This is what we're trying to do by giving them concrete vectors by which we can analyze the business. For example, like I said, the 3 vectors that Tesla needs to keep competing, by also giving them an overview over what is it actually we're doing, like I said in the first part of this episode, the sustainability part. So those are the things we can do. There's not much more we can do. Trading is typically not the answer. Trading is, we're not a liquidity provider. We don't try to buy when things are low and sell when things are high. We don't do that. We are in for the long term. It is our goal to own as many shares as possible of these companies. We believe our degree of freedom is simply to buy the right company and then stay invested as long as we can and generate wealth, because the returns on these investments will eclipse anything else we could be doing with that money. Thank you.